Hey YouTube, it's the Frog Queen here. I'm back for another comic book review. Do apologize, these have been kind of few and far between as I kind of get used to living in my new place, which of course isn't completely set up yet. Moving seems to be like the most time-consuming thing ever, and I'm also not very good at decorating, so I haven't really got to any of that yet. But today, I wanted to talk about Cinebook. Cinebook is a European, well, let me just give you the breakdown. Cinebook, for those unfamiliar, is a European publisher which translates popular European comics and graphic novels for English readers. Taken directly from their website, they say as such, the comic book and its close relative, the graphic novel, are a highly respected art form in France, Belgium, and the rest of the Western Europe. So well regarded that Cinebook takes our tagline, the ninth art publisher, from the classification of comic books as number 9 on the list of plastic arts in Europe. Plastic art list being first, architecture, second, painting, third, sculpture, fourth, engraving, fifth, drawing, sixth, photo, seventh, cinema, eighth, television, and ninth, comic books. In fact, 1 of every 8 books sold in France is a comic book. So let's take a look at the plot. The Chimpanzee Complex follows the main character Helen, who has a dream of being the first woman to step foot on Mars. However, she has a daughter who longs for a mother who doesn't have a career that centers on being away from home for long periods of time. Just when Helen is about to turn down the opportunity of a lifetime, she's pulled away from her daughter one last time to participate in a secret investigation with NASA. They've uncovered a space shuttle which holds Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. How could this be possible? Well, that's the mystery. So I actually just got a shipment of books from Cinebook. They were so sweet to send me a bunch of their acclaimed books in the mail all the way from the UK. As you know, I live in Nova Scotia in Canada, so it's pretty far away. Anyway, I've actually just been plowing through the stack that they gave me, and I'd really like to talk about a lot of the books that I've read. They're really great. I've been really enjoying everything they sent me. So today we'll talk about the Chimpanzee Project. I just want to quickly point out that all their books come in this kind of format. Some of them are slightly smaller, if you can compare, but they come in this kind of paperback format, and they're usually quite thin, and they're usually quite a bit larger than your standard North American trade that you'd see from like Image or Marvel, DC, all that kind of stuff. So slightly bigger format. Generally, they are printing comics and graphic novels that were serialized in different ways. But they stick to this one kind of format. I suspect that the size has to do with the original printing and not wanting to obscure the actual artwork, if that makes sense, if I can say it that way. In terms of artwork, I think I've talked about this illustration style before. It really looks kind of like as if somebody took photos and then painted over them in Photoshop. And I mean, we've seen this sort of interesting style before from other comic artists, such as in the comic series Ex Machina and Lazarus. I can probably think of a few other ones as well, but those are the ones that first pop into mind. This much more realistic kind of style. All the art in Chimpanzee Project is made by the French artist Jean-Michel Ponzio. Factoid, he worked as a scenario designer for the movie Batman and Robin, which I guess, isn't really his fault. I mean, who turns down the chance to work on a Batman movie? Oh, wait. And Oh yeah, and him too. So I went into this book with very little knowledge about the plot. Although I've told you the plot itself, the book itself doesn't actually explain on the back. It just focuses on the main character and tells the nature of the mystery, which I kind of like. So I really didn't know what the actual book was going to be about. I knew that it was about this female astronaut, and that's all I knew. The only thing that made me really upset about this book was the fact that I don't have book 2 or 3. I just have number 1. So now I have to go out and try to get those. I do also want to say that the price point actually on these books is quite good. I have bought Cinebooks online on Amazon for roughly $13 Canadian. Some of the books are a bit more expensive. I think it's based on size more than anything else. This one, you'll notice it only has US and UK pricing. Whatever Amazon honors, I swear they just make shit up on because they're like, oh, this is a high demand item. It'll be this much and whatever. But yes, this one went for $13.95 US. So for us Canadians, that sometimes means that we're going to pay a few dollars more, and sometimes, companies will honor the U.S. pricing structure, so you never really know. But whereas it is a UK company, only US and UK pricing is listed, unfortunately. But us poor Canadians, man, we got it rough. Okay, well, we don't have Trump, so I guess we can deal with the whole book pricing dealio. Anyway, so I have lots of other Cinebooks to talk to you about this week, so come back, and until next time, make sure you read something good.